We're going to give it about one more minute before we get started. People still joining. Thank you all for being here. We are recording this, so love to see and hear from all of you. But just be aware, full disclosure, we are recording this. I'm going to try and get it on our private YouTube page for anyone that missed it a little bit later this month. But yeah, I guess we can go ahead and get started.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. Perfect.
So welcome everybody to our January module for Caring Communications. Today we are going to talk about the art of optimization. You can think about it also as the art of persuasion. I'm Krista.
And I'm Jamie, and we are here in beautiful Greensboro, North Carolina, at the Piedmont Triad office here in Greensboro, broadcasting to you live. So thanks again for being here.
So just some housekeeping items, and I'm sure you all are familiar with these. Make sure to mute at all times unless you're speaking. Raise your hand so that we know that you would like to speak and we can call on you. And then make sure you're utilizing the chat. I will oversee it, so if anything pops up, we will either hold it and address it at the end or go ahead and talk about it then. Okay, so for our icebreaker today, can someone describe 2024 in one word? And you can throw it in the chat or you can raise your hand.
And I'm going to go first because I gave this some thought. This question, thank you for asking this question. First of all, please don't include anything that's happened in 2025 in your answer. So when you think back on 2024, the word I have this time is complete. I thought it was a very complete year. I thought I didn't have any like crazy highs or crazy lows, but I felt it was I did lots of things, like lots of normal human things over the course of 2024. I saw people and did things, and it was basically a good, solid baseline year for me. So complete is my word.
I think mine is like excited because it was just an exciting year for me and my partner. We bought a house, and it was just really exciting for me. So that's my 2024. What else do we got? Oh, Lori says roller coaster.
Roller coaster. Lori, would you like to elaborate?
Yeah, ups and downs, good and bad. I became a grandma, and then the storms hit some of my counties, and that was the low. But there's always ups and downs.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't know our good friend Lori, she lives in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, but helps cover a lot of the western NC territories that were hit with the storms and devastation last year. So they are lucky to have Lori as a member of that team as those communities all rebuild. Any other words? Anyone else want to share a word for 2024?
Like I said, it means change. It brought change for understanding what is going on with people, and especially with those floods and everything, how we could bring help to them. Some people might have a little, attitude when we bring stuff to them. And when we have to understand change, how we should express ourselves with understanding and being humble to help them as well, even though they might not understand what they're going through as yet. So change, how to be once again connected. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Change and humility. I'm going to put that on there. Change and humility. Good words. Good words. Fantastic. And if you think of any other or anybody else wants to put it in later, feel free to throw that into the chat.
Also, you're going to notice folks behind us.
Oh, yeah,
yeah, don't be alarmed,
The building's open today. The building's open today.
So as we said in the beginning, today is the power of optimization and you. There are 5 acts of optimization that we're going to cover today. Donation preparation, donation maximization, donation rescheduling, volunteer recruitment, and day of drive no-shows. I'm pretty sure as BDAs you all are familiar with this information, but we're just going to cover it just in case you need a little refresher.
Okay, this one's mine, right?
Yes.
All right, the art of optimization in 4 steps. So this is these are these are things that all of us do nearly every time we're at a blood drive, but we're kind of putting words to it, putting definitions to it. Optimization is more than just having the right answers. It's about establishing your credibility as well as knowing and connecting with your audience. So in a nutshell, being able to connect with those donors and and answer questions confidently, when you can, is going to help. Is going to help everyone and help them feel more comfortable, help you feel more comfortable. So thing one, you establish your credibility. People are more likely to be persuaded by someone that they trust. So if the Red Cross, obviously a very trusted organization nationally, internationally, and is in our small part of that, in our niche here in the Red Cross, BVE, Biomedical Services, very important to establish credibility early on with your donors, with your staff, so that people are more likely to trust you. To find common ground is number 2, to understand your audience's challenges and what they care most about. People come in and they donate blood and platelets and plasma for all different reasons. Some people have very personal reasons that they've shared with us for that. So, try and find that common ground when you're waiting with someone in canteen or in the waiting room or in check-in. You might find that you have quite a bit in common when it comes to this. Number 3, provide evidence. Back up your claim by obtaining knowledge and expertise. Most blood drives will have written materials that we can, I know all fixed sites do, but a lot of mobiles, they'll print off some written materials that we can share with donors when they have questions about eligibility and this kind of thing. Certainly don't answer questions you don't know the answer to, but you can help and provide that material to the donors where, like the medication deferral list, for example, you can certainly provide that. Refer them to the donor app, the website, to get questions asked. And if it's something that's beyond our capacity, we can always send those folks to a collection staff member to have those discussions. And then 4, connect emotionally. Always helpful when appropriate to connect on a deeper level by showcasing your passion. So just as all the donors are here for different reasons, all the volunteers and staff are here for different reasons, and all of you have come to us through different pathways and donate for different reasons. So feel free to share those when appropriate in order to connect with your donors and staff, navigate forward. So preparation, this is still me, right?
Yes.
Yes, still me. Preparation optimization. There are 4 steps in getting ready for a blood donation. Some people donate all the time and they don't need any advice in this area, and they're professional, regular, every 56 day donors, or sometimes every week, 2-week donors for platelets. But things that you can help with, advise with, answer questions about while people are going in to donate. Number 1, hydration. When you're well hydrated, your donation goes quicker and easier. And that's for any type of donation, blood, platelets, plasma. If you're well hydrated, that product is going to flow better and faster. They're going to be able to get the veins better. And the whole process is going to typically go smoother as long as you can not need to go to the bathroom halfway through. That's their thing. But yeah, hopefully everyone comes in hydrated. And if they haven't hydrated, you can always offer, would you like a bottle of water while you wait? Water fountain, that sort of thing. Lori, thank you. Helping us behind the scenes with the 2 links. Number 2, elimination. I'm sure you've been drinking a lot of liquid to get ready to donate, and you probably already know, but this is where the restrooms are. So here where we are, we have a set of restrooms in the donor center, which is across the hall behind us there, and then another set out here in the main hallway. So letting everyone know where the restrooms are, whether or not they need it, always a nice courtesy as people are coming in. Oh, by the way, if you need the restroom before you donate or while you're here, the staff usually offer that too. But letting donors know where the restrooms are, just a general restrooms down the hall and to the left, should you need them. And if you go to a blood drive and you're a first-time volunteer at a blood drive, right before you start checking people in, do ask where the restrooms are. Sometimes it's not obvious. I've been in church basements and schools where sometimes it wasn't obvious where the restrooms were. And someone asked me, and I was like, gosh, I should know that, both for myself and for them. Number 3, medication. As you know, taking certain medications may prevent you from being able to donate. That medication deferral list, if someone asks. In our role, we sort of back off for getting in too specifically on the meds. A lot of folks that I've worked with, a lot of donors will voluntarily show me their medications, which is maybe more than our team needs. But again, to let them know that that there are medications that may prevent you from donating, to show the medication deferral list, and if they have questions, to refer them to the charge or the nearest collection staff member. Thank you. And then finally, relaxation. Many donors relax to their favorite tunes during their donation. We'll talk about this here a little bit later, but some of the longer donations, the platelets and plasma, a lot of the centers will have movies you can watch, little dental mirror movie screen that you can watch, Netflix on. And when I started donating, it was all the DVDs built into the TVs, and I was always looking for movies that were exactly an hour and 40 minutes long, because that's how long it took me to give platelets. So, and I didn't want to miss the end if they pulled me out and it was a 2.5 hour. But
Some folks bring blankets.
some folks
Yeah.
bring blankets, and some of our centers have blankets, those heated blankets that they have, some of the fixed site centers. So yeah, it's important to be relaxed. Not so relaxed they nod off, that's a no-no. But my father's done that before. He's been so relaxed in the chair that he started to nod off. Didn't pass out, he was just relaxed. But yeah, make sure everyone's relaxed and comfortable, and offer those kind of things. And typically people are welcome to bring blankets and listen to music and that sort of thing in at least one ear while they go. So those are some of the ways that you can suggest to make preparation optimization for each of your donors. Other ways to donate. And I apologize, but we are missing, those graphics did not pop up on the screen there.
If you press this forward button, will it do it?
There it is. Thank you. Sorry. Other ways to donate. So most of our donors are standard blood donors, single whole blood donor is what it's typically called, where a needle goes in one arm and we take a pint of blood product from them. In addition to that, most of our mobile drives are now offering PowerReds, which is 2 units of blood. Takes a little bit longer, but can be ideal for several blood types, including A negative, B negative, O negative, and O positive. I'm an A positive, and I've been offered once or twice to do PowerRed, so it's not necessarily the only blood types they can give, but these are the preferred optimized, to use our theme today, optimal blood types for a PowerRed. There's also typically some weight requirements and some additional questions you'll get asked as a PowerRed donor, but if you have the time, again, it takes a little bit longer. They take 2 units of blood out of your arm and then put some fluid back in after. If you have the time and you're one of those optimal blood types, hello, Crystal Davis. Thanks for joining us today. A negative, B negative, O negative, or O positive. The donor can always ask if a PowerRed might be work for them. I would not, if you're at a blood drive with one of those machines or even 2 of those machines, I would not assume that everyone that comes in should be upgraded for that, even if they have a matching blood type. Again, it takes longer, and there's usually limited machines and beds. So, if there's no one waiting, we can certainly offer that to donors as an option to ask about PowerRed. but I wouldn't say that everyone who comes in the door is going to be eligible for a Power Red or have time for a Power Red, because it does take longer in the chair. On the screen, it says 1.5 hours. These are the slides that we were given. My personal experience was closer to 40, 45 minutes both times I did it. Again, the setup is the same. The process takes a little bit longer, but I don't know that it would take an hour and a half. But I don't want to tramps on the Red Cross's slides either. But yeah, Power Red, an option for some people. Also platelets, which is what I normally donate, actually here in this same facility. Platelets ideal for folks with A positive, A negative, B positive, B negative. That is a longer procedure. It takes both arms. So that's going to be donors. Platelets are usually always in fixed sites, but that's an option for folks that have the time. It says 2.5 hours, which is probably accurate. My draw time is usually 100 minutes or an hour 40. But the donor will be sitting in the chair. They put a needle in one arm, a needle in the other arm, or sometimes wrist in the middle of the arm. They take the blood out. It goes behind your head into a machine that you can't see, or that the donor can't see. They take the platelets out. It's the yellow gooey stuff. It's kind of gross, but yeah, you can't see it, while you're stood there. But they take the platelets out, and then the blood and additional fluid go back in. You are allowed to donate platelets, by the way, up to every 7 days. They usually recommend every 14 days, twice a month, no more than 24 times a year. But platelets, because you are losing less blood, you can do that up to every 7 days instead of every 56 days, like a whole blood. Power Red, by the way, 128 days between donations. And again, platelets, ideal for A positive, A negative, B positive, B negative, can be used for cancer and surgery patients, has blood clotting factors and abilities. And I've worked with a lot of cancer patients that were recipients of our platelets, so fantastic. And then finally, plasma, which is very similar. Very similar to the platelets. Again, it's a 2-draw. I think it takes about the same amount of time as platelets. This one says it's shorter, but for trauma patients to help stop bleeding, again, they take the fluid out of one arm, they put it into the other arm, and instead of the platelets, they take the liquid part of the blood comes out. So, Power Reds, platelets, and plasma. I don't want to call them upgrades, but other ways to donate if folks have the extra time, and they meet the requirements. Suggested blood type and height and weight and that sort of thing for Power Red, platelets, and plasma. Platelets and plasma, again, I think I already said it, but usually at fixed sites, those are very big pieces of equipment that don't transport as well. Typically at fixed sites, brick and mortar Red Cross buildings. But Power Reds, we're seeing those on buses. We're seeing those in schools and hospitals and the Chick-fil-A parking lot drives. So Power Reds, if your drive has them, great opportunity for some donors. And now I'm going to give it back to Krista.
So we're going to just continue our conversation about Power Red. With Power Red donation, you can save time by donating half as often while still doing the best good for patients by donating in a way that has been proven to help people feel better after donations. Parameters and benefits to the donor explain the parameters and benefits to the donor when you're chatting with them, including less frequent donations, streamlined wait times, fewer telemarketing calls, and the opportunity to give the most in-demand product, which is packed red cells, making a bigger impact. So we can turn it to y'all and see, does anybody want to come off mute and maybe do a little pitch for Power Red? Put everybody on the spot.
Staff or volunteers.
Hey, this is Aaron. Can you hear me?
Hey, Aaron, I just texted you. Glad that you're
Yeah,
here. Sorry about that.
somehow I had got over on the 5 o'clock when there was about four of us over there,
Okay.
so we joined late. I've got a couple of questions. I am A
Yeah.
positive, just like you are,
Yeah.
and I'm still being told that I can't do power reds. That's A positive can't do those.
Well, again, I'm here to tell you, I know it can be done. I'm a preferred. They prefer I do platelets is kind of my ideal thing, but again, without going too technical, because I won't. I'll be the first to tell you I don't know all the ins and outs of it. I know there are several criteria you have to meet for each of these. So I've been taking it as a suggested power red, and they've said yes, I
Okay.
did meet whatever other requirements were there to where
Okay.
I could do it. Again, I think I've done it twice. But in addition to blood type, there are other requirements that you have to meet, and I could look into that for you specifically, since you and I are both A pluses. I could look into that and see
Okay.
maybe what it might be. But I know there's a list of criteria for each of those that the
I'm
donors have
sure
to meet.
I meet the height and weight for sure.
Mhm.
Next question on the platelets. I noticed there were specific blood types mentioned, but I thought all blood types could give platelets.
I think platelets can be taken from all blood types. Those are the preferred. So,
Okay.
so, so, so all that listing is going to be preferred, recommended blood types for each of those. But yeah,
And
same thing. So I frequently give platelets, but I know people that are other blood types who have. The
okay.
O's they really push because O blood is so valuable in general. They really
Right.
push that towards power reds. And A positive, I guess, because of the way the blood reacts, seems to be more ideal for platelets. So, yeah,
The last thing I've got going back to your hydration
yeah,
slide. Uh, I was reading in some of the material, where it recommends and highly suggests they start drinking 48 hours before they give
yeah.
that morning that you give. It really doesn't help any.
Well, again, I wouldn't say it doesn't help any because if you're kind of dehydrated coming in and do 16 ounces, an hour before, I think it could be helpful. But yes, they do like you to start, and I've been busted on that. I've had them tell me in the chair, and I was like, well, I drank some on the way here, and she said, oh, you really need to push the iron and the water ahead of time. But yeah,
Right.
the better hydrated you are, your body total, the smoother it's going to go.
I continue to offer it. I don't know if the other volunteers do it, but I keep water right there where I register the donors and
Yeah,
ask them, would you like a bottle of water? Or if
yeah.
they're waiting, do you want a bottle of water? Because it certainly can't hurt.
No, it doesn't, and that's a good idea to take. I'll usually grab like 3 bottles of water and 2 juice boxes from canteen and put them right there at the corner of the check-in desk for that same purpose, in case anyone needs it. A
Okay.
lot of folks I meet are kind of walking in already drinking. They have their own bottle of water, so
Yep.
uh,
Yep.
so hopefully people know that coming in.
All right. Thanks.
No, thank you, sir. All good feedback.
So just in terms of time, I know I asked y'all a question, but we're just gonna pass it by. The pitch, did you know you can make a super powered impact with your blood donation? And then asking them if they want to consider a power red donation. So that's a great way to do it.
Mhm. And there's also in addition to just being a little bit longer, and you may have already said this, it's a longer wait in between donations too. So if you have that donor who loves to support us, loves to donate, and feels good about it, but doesn't love being, I don't want to say harassed, but doesn't love being regularly called, by donor services, it's time to donate, time to donate. A lot of you probably had that feedback before. They don't love being called and texted by donor services. If they do step up for that power red, yeah, 128 days before you can donate again. So that typically pulls you off that call list, until you're eligible again. So
I think
that's
it was
another.
referred to a telemarketing call.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Which isn't the intention of it. Obviously, we're all, you guys and us and the people at the call center, we're all here for the same purpose. We all want to help the blood supply in any way we can. But yeah, you have people, and I'm one of them. I'm on that call list, and I tend to just watch it ring. you know, but I don't love I don't love the calls either. So yeah, 128 days, if that's a could be a perk, for some people. Platelets and plasma, again, the process is almost exactly the same, looks the same, feels the same, even though they're taking two slightly different products. The pitch. Did you know that you are an ideal candidate for platelet plasma donation? Consider increasing your impact by donating platelets plasma to help as many as 4 cancer and trauma victims. Some of the again, platelets is not for everybody, but some of the perks of it, the donor can potentially help more patients. They That yellow stuff, there she is holding it up. They usually get 3 bags of it. So if you do a full donation for platelets, 100 minutes is what it takes me. It's 3 bags of a product there to come out. You get less total fluid loss, more hydration, so you don't feel as woozy after. Because that blood is going back into you. It's a smaller needle. Granted, there's 2 of them, so you can't clap and and salute and all that. So you have to keep your hands still. But yes, smaller needle in case that's a concern for people. Shorter wait time between donations. So if you're someone that likes to donate frequently, either out of the goodness of your heart or because you want the long sleeve shirt and the gift card and the umbrella, right? You want all 3 of the donor promos coming up. Yeah, you can donate in as little as 7 days after. So if the procedure goes well, 7 days later you can be eligible to donate again. Unless I'm mistaken, they do have a 24-a-year limit on that, and you get to watch a movie. So yeah, most of our fixed sites now have some form of that where they'll pull down a screen. The one here, it's all digital now. They give you a remote and it's Netflix. I don't have Netflix at home, so it's exciting to watch the.
You don't have Netflix?
I don't have Netflix at home
Wow.
now, so it's exciting to come here and watch the Netflix movie like my parents, or my neighbors told me. Oh, did you watch this on Netflix? No, but next time I get platelets, I'll try to. So it is pretty handy. A couple things I've found are not great to watch is stand-up comedy routines because I laugh and I shake and then the buzzer goes off because I moved the needle. It's happened more than once. So yeah, maybe not stand-up comedy if you laugh hard. I tend to shake and laugh and giggle. Or maybe jump scare horror. Maybe that's also not a good one. But there's lots of good stuff you can watch with the blanket and everything. Relax as long as you can be still and keep your arms there. I really enjoy giving the platelets. And again, just a note here, most of those platelets are used for treatment of cancer patients in the area. So that doesn't, the shelf life on platelets is shorter than many of the other products. So that frequently, if you donate platelets today, that's probably going to be in use later this week. Because that does have to be used right away. It says about 2 total hours for the procedure. Again, 100 minutes. I've had it go a little bit. I think I've done like as quick as 93, as long as 2 hours. But yeah, somewhere in there it is a little bit longer for the draw. You do get to watch a movie. There's a note on here that says you can sleep. They won't let you sleep. That's incorrect. So you cannot fall asleep while
Gosh,
you're
we
in there.
should have proofread
Yeah,
this.
no, it's not. You can't. They will not let you fall asleep. If you start to fall asleep, they will come and wake you up. But that's platelets and plasma. And now back to Krista.
So we're going to talk about the rebooking optimization, which we can talk about Book Now app. Does anybody want to come off mute and talk about Book Now and how they've utilized it at a fixed site or at a mobile drive?
Or even how they couldn't utilize
Yes.
it. Because I know that happens too.
I'll jump right in again if that's okay.
Please.
I try to use it. Seems to be more effective on on the off-site, because those people are repetitive. They want to come back every time. A lot of them, like our Holden Beach Chapel down at Holden Beach, North Carolina. Those people will sign right back up that very
Mhm.
day for the next blood drive. Then
Yep.
you've got others that, no, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. I don't know if I'm going to be available. I'd rather wait and figure out what my schedule is. And then I've had some cases where it didn't work. The little pad just didn't work. But the main thing is try, ask, hey, would you like to make your next appointment? And I don't pressure 'em. If they say no, I say, okay, that's great. Just go online and make it when you can. Uh, but I'd say for the most part, we have more success on the off-site in my case than I do at the donor center.
The that Holden Beach Drive, and thank you for that, Aaron, because I've had similar experiences. Does that one run regularly, like every 2 months, every 56 days?
Yes, it's right on schedule.
Right.
And the people know that, and they want to go
Yeah.
ahead and get their time slot
Right.
put in.
Yeah, I asked because I have two like that in my area that are very regular, like clockwork. And yeah, same thing. They will have, and one of those two even has every time we do a drive, the sponsor will set up a paper schedule, with the times for next time. So say,
Right.
hey, while you're
The
here, like even as you're checking in, if you want to claim next time, because they have a lot of repeat business, and because that's the location they donate. They're a member of that community, and that's where they come.
Now
Uh,
I have had like staff members say, "No, we'll take care of this," while we're
yeah,
talking to them.
right,
And they actually take over the pads and they
right.
do it.
Yeah, and I've personally had a mixed success rate with the pads too. So the pads are push, and I have some volunteers in my area that swear by them and love them, and say they're very handy. They'll keep them in the canteen area. And, oh, would you like to sign back up? Blip, 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 and it's done. Yeah, and I've had it work as often as I've had it not work. Like it didn't connect right, or I did one recently and it was like set up for the wrong day, so it wasn't recognizing. It was like the data on that was from a drive like 2 days earlier. Um, so yeah, so it's good to recommend, but for everyone on the call, be prepared that there might be multiple different ways. So it may not just be Book Now. It might be Book Now or their personal, app. Would you like to sign back up, or even the paper schedule? I know some drives still do a paper schedule and do it well. Uh, yeah.
And then
Thank you for that.
And when you're chatting about Book Now, here on the screen is talking about an initial approach. Make sure you let them know that it'll only take a few seconds or minutes to book through the Book Now app. And then you will not be recontacted because you've already scheduled your next appointment, which is key.
There you go. There you go.
And you will have the best choice of appointment times and locations. So, I mean, just a little help for Book Now and being able to encourage donors to sign up for their next donation.
Yeah. And then the redirection approach, they're going to go one more. Again, as Aaron already said, no thanks, I'll just use my blood donor app to sign up for my next appointment. And by the way, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But feel free to, without being pushy and sounding like a salesman, because we are not salespeople. It's not over here. But feel free, to recommend again. That's absolutely fine, but we're asking donors to schedule their next appointment right now because we have a paper schedule or we have the means of doing it. Like Kristen was just saying, some of those points of being like, hey, if you want to avoid, if you want to avoid the call list, if you want to avoid the follow-up, happy to help you do it right now. So I wouldn't. I don't know that I would push too much further than that because obviously we're at, they are there, helping us and helping the community and helping the Red Cross. So I wouldn't want to be too pushy with it. But yeah, if you're in a drive and you have the ability to get people signed back up for either the next mobile drive at that location or a fixed site, in the near future, feel free to bring it up, once or twice to see if they want to do it. Couldn't hurt. Would only be helpful ultimately to them and the Red Cross and the hospitals and the patients that need it.
Okay, so yet another way you can make a difference is by helping support volunteer recruitment in your area. So blood donor ambassadors, for instance, Red Cross donors may make the very best volunteers, as you know. Some of you are donating as BDAs, so you know what it's like to volunteer and also be a donor and be on the other side. Convince donors that volunteering with the American Red Cross can truly make a difference in a variety of ways. Volunteers help us with our life-saving work each and every day, so encourage donors to find out about a variety of volunteer opportunities, including being a BDA like yourself. Let's see, so what might be some ways you can approach a donor that may seem like a good fit for a blood donor ambassador? If you want to share, you can throw it in the chat or you can raise your hand. Or just come up.
I'm gonna go. This is Lori.
Hi, Lori.
Your coworker. I stalk them. No, if I hear if I hear somebody say retired, my ears go up. If I hear somebody say, oh, I've got some time on my hands, my ears go up. So, and I have wonderful volunteers that are helping me with this too. We are working with volunteer services and some of our current BDAs, and they are helping us recruit. So, thank you. We need all the help we can get. It's really appreciated.
Fantastic. I have a quick happy story on this. I promise I'm going to tell it quick. We have a drive in my area here in the kind of northern tip of North Carolina, in a hard to reach place, 40 minutes from everything. I'm not going to say exactly where it is, and I'm not going to identify our volunteer, but we had a situation and we just forever didn't have anyone able to volunteer there because it was just really out in the middle of nowhere. And we were able to recruit a donor. So we had a husband and wife that came, who were members of that community, that came every time to this drive. It was an every 56-day drive, and donated. And the husband always donated, and the wife got deferred several times due to some medications that she was on at the time. Anyway, we struck up a conversation one day while she was waiting on him. She was a very, very pleasant person and really, really into the Red Cross. We struck up a conversation about volunteerism and what it was that I did, and kind of my role in the thing. And she applied. She took some paperwork and she applied to be a BDA volunteer with us. This was probably 2 years ago, and now she has become the regular every time at that drive, and they all love her. She's fantastic. She might even be on this call. I'm not going to say her name just in case, but she's really, really has taken ownership of that, and again lives very close, so it's been helpful to everyone all the way around. And again, she tries to donate when she can, but if she ever gets deferred, she's there giving back in that way. So that was a great success story for us at this hard to reach, undisclosed location here in North Carolina.
Yeah, I always get excited when someone says they are available during the day. Like,
yeah,
yes,
exactly.
Sure, let's come on down, Or if someone says, I'm ready for a little bit more responsibility, that's currently a BDA or a donor who wants to come in and volunteer, maybe that's an opportunity to be on the lead team and help out with that. So as a BDA, if anybody's looking for any additional work or volunteer hours, let us know. There's always a place. Yeah. That's a plug.
And donors, I have found that donors make really, really good volunteers. Because they already kind of speak the language of the thing that we're doing and can speak to it. So fantastic. Anything else on recruitment?
I don't think so. I think we're good.
Very cool. And then finally, there's also no-show optimization. Now again, different collection staffs at different drives will have different feelings on this. I've been to some drives where they really push for our assistance, and if we were at a place with a landline phone, would ask us a landline phone. Yeah, we were there with a phone in an office, like in a fixed site. Jamie or volunteer, whomever, could you help us, call some of these people, let them know, just as a quick reminder, or let them know that they are welcome to come in early because we're ahead of schedule. Because we had some no-shows, or that we were expecting them for PowerEd. I don't want to give their space away. Would you call and just a quick courtesy call, make sure they're still coming. An example of, Hi, this is Jamie. I'm a volunteer with the American Red Cross, currently at the Greensboro
The
Donors,
Chatham
the
Library.
Chatham Library blood drive here in Chatham County,
There
North
it is.
Carolina. Thanks for scheduling your appointment to donate blood. I'm calling to see if you're still planning to come in. Again, like we said, nothing pushy, but just a little check to make sure. I don't think we get a huge number of no-shows across the board, but sometimes you do. You probably all had them where someone was on that list and signed up and they just aren't there. So before they give that space away, before you say yes to the walk-in, sometimes they'll have us do the calls. But I've been to other drives where they wanted the staff to do that, where they had staff on a mobile who was walking around handling that, and just told us to be aware. Oh, we have a space for 2 more walk-ins, or oh, we're
Yeah.
let me know if Mrs. Jones comes in, because if Mrs. Jones comes in, she's a power red or she's a platelet. We need to jump her and get her in here ASAP. So you might be asked to do that call. Please don't feel that if you're just there with your personal cell phone, please feel free to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not comfortable calling people with my personal cell phone." But if you're at a place with a landline phone, you know what I mean.
I do.
People still say that.
You know.
If you're at a desk with like a telephone and like a business, and you can pick up that phone and call one of these donors from it to do the reminder, yeah, that might be very appropriate.
And no shows, I know you touched on this, but no shows they might be a little tardy.
Yeah, exactly.
So just
Exactly.
calling and reminding them, they may show up an hour later and just kind of fit them into
Exactly.
the schedule.
And usually you can,
Yeah.
but again, we don't like to give those spaces away if they're a minute away or if they're right outside. Um, who else was the hand? Is that Aaron? Aaron.
Yeah, it's me again. I'm sorry. I just wanted to add to that. It's a lot of times our donors will leave something. Okay, I've had them like this past week. Just they left their donor card,
Yeah.
and as soon as I realized that the donor card was there, I looked on my sheet, got their cell phone number. I called them. They were still in the area, came right back and got it, and were so very appreciative of that.
Right.
And saying that if we do find that somebody has left something, don't wait for them to come back. If you've got I use my personal cell phone. It doesn't bother me to call them on my cell phone, but call the people before they get too far away and say, "Hey, I got this. You left your umbrella. You left this. You left your coat." Yeah, and that really goes a long ways with them wanting to come back.
I was just about to say the umbrella thing. Yeah, we've had a lot of lost umbrellas at blood drives. So yeah, that's a great courtesy if you're able to do that. Thank you. And jumping ahead, we have a video.
We do have a video. This is just going to cover what we've been talking about, but just a little bit more in depth. And I know that you enjoy this video.
I do enjoy this video. So this is brand new. This just came out. This is 2025. You may have already seen it. They put it on Edge, on the Edge training site, I think about a week ago.
Plug for Edge.
Plug for Edge. And this is the YouTube link. I'm realizing right now that even though you and I watched it, we didn't actually test it on the live thing. So I'm hoping it plays. If it doesn't, or you can't hear it, we will make sure everybody gets this afterward. We can throw this link in the chat. But this is, and you may recognize the voice. This is the same nice lady who narrates the onboarding video that you've all watched at least once. So that very first BDA onboarding video. This is the same nice lady that narrates that. She has a very nice, relaxing voice. But anyway, this is a quick video. This is we're almost done. Thanks for being with us. But this is a quick video, kind of reviewing all those steps, what it looks like from this side, and then we will open it up for questions. And I hope you can hear and see this. Yeah, let me know if you can.
Okay, everybody. We're actually going to put the link to the video in the chat. If anybody couldn't hear it. I know that Elaine in the chat said that she couldn't hear it. So, oh, perfect. There it is.
There
Thanks,
it is.
Shin. So we have time for some questions and answer. We have about 10 minutes left. Does anybody want to put it in the chat or hop off mute and we can see if we can answer?
Hi, Krista.
Hi, how are you?
Doing great. I have a question, and it may be something that you have no control over. But increasingly, the options for helping out with blood drives in Beaufort County are just so limited. It's like there's plenty of blood drives, but they're not using any of the blood ambassadors. And it could be because you're doing such a good job of placing interns and doing all the blood drives. But actually, in my experience, it's more often the case that they have local, like at a church or at a school, local people doing the ambassador's job. And sometimes, you know, they're friendly people, but they really don't provide this great information or encourage people to do what you're encouraging us to consider doing. I just wondered how that is working because it seems like it's been a shift over the last year. Like I'm missing out on blood drives as a result. I haven't helped out with one for a while.
Is that, and I'm sorry, and tell me the county again?
Beaufort County.
Beaufort
There's
County.
lots of options available in Pitt County where Greenville is, but there's very few of them, if any, showing up for any of us who are volunteers in Beaufort, which is a small county, but we have plenty of drives.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one specifically, so we could definitely talk to the folks there and see. But yeah, that is something that we see. My area tends to be pretty even. We do get so for example, we have a really big one, Elon University, which is in Alamance County. They run one for us. Gosh, I think they're quarterly. They go like every 3 months, but it's a big one. It's like 90 to 110 donors, mostly students and staff. And if
they get extra credit.
if there's a T-shirt giveaway, oh goodness,
Yeah.
Anybody, all those college students will gladly donate for the shirts and the socks. And that one was one that we were kind of doing a hybrid where they had lots of student volunteers who were interested, and that we were still sending a BDA for the same reasons that you're citing, to kind of as that extra level of professionalism and knowledge, and to kind of help people and make sure everything ran well. We have, as of this year, finally got everyone sort of trained on that side with the BDA stuff. So they have student volunteers who are also set up as BDAs with us. So now they're kind of handling it themselves and not asking for extra support. Granted, some of their students are BDAs, so we end up giving them credit. That does happen, but yeah, I would have to check on that specific county and see who has that. Unless somebody in that area. Aaron, is that county near you? Do you have a? Do you have
No, I don't go quite that far. I've got 6 North Carolina counties, but that's not one of them.
Gotcha. And that's Eastern, right? That's in Eastern.
Yeah.
Yeah. Andrea Bent is over that area.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Well,
I'm also finding this to be true in Clayton County.
Clayton County. Is that the same area or is that elsewhere?
No, this is Clayton County, Georgia. It's nothing for us to sign up for. Once you do your drive once or twice a month, you try to go ahead and sign up. There's nothing, and it's been nothing for like 3 or 4 months, and it's like, oh, okay, because I'll do Clayton, and then I'm up in Fayetteville, Georgia, but there's nothing. I'll go to the library or the blood drive place, but there's nothing.
Okay, good feedback, and we can, Chris and I, we'll make a note and check in with the with the folks in that area. I'm sure there are trends with that. Again, overall, I can only speak for myself. Overall, I feel like I'm getting the same number of requests every month, but it does tend to shift a little bit as far as where they're needed. Darlene Cromwell's here. Darlene, did you have any feedback on that?
Yes, hi Jamie. I
Hi,
just wanted to
Darlene.
know, hi, what is the if I could get the person's name that was just spoke about the opportunities in Clayton County and Fayette, because I would like to reach out to her personally.
I am Pandora Martin, but I'm getting ready to leave the country, so I'll be calling somebody to find out can I volunteer in Germany.
Okay. You're
Safe.
about to leave?
Yes, I'll be leaving on March 31st. I've really enjoyed volunteering this. I'm a retiree also, but I have a daughter that's military, and she says, "Mom, you can do your volunteer work here in Germany." I thought, "Oh, I don't think so." She
Okay.
said, "Yeah." But
Okay.
that's my name, and I
Okay.
report to Fatima.
Yeah, for family. Okay. All right. I'm
Hmm.
regional supervisor there, so I will give you a call, Ms. Martin. Maybe we can get you into some things before you leave for Germany.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Hey, Jamie. Um,
Yes.
some of those areas